Understanding BIOS, boot devices, MBR, bootloaders, dual boot. BIOS is the only pre-installed software or firmware on your computer. It is stored permanently on the motherboard's special chip. To keep the time while the computer is off, it needs a small rechargeable battery. Its main functions are hardware management and keeping time. Main BIOS configuration is the boot device. It will try to load and run the code from this device. Boot device is any device which can hold the code to be run. An example, a disk, CD, network or USB. Disks can be divided into smaller blocks using the partitioning software. If a disk has been partitioned, the partition information is written on the small part at the start of the disk. This area of the disk is called MBR, Master Boot Record. MBR can also hold the code that the BIOS can execute and transfer execution to. This special code is called a bootloader. Its purpose is to execute and transfer control to the OS. The MBR is an old standard and has now been replaced by GPT. GPT supports more partitions and disks larger than 2 TB. To use the disks, we need some sort of file system software. These are usually part of the OS. Some common types of file systems are FAT32, X3, X4, SWAP, and boot. As part of an operating system installation, we can format and partition the disks. We can also optionally write the bootloader to the MBR or GPT. If there is no OS installed, the only option is to boot from an insertable media like USB or CD. If we were to install multiple operating systems, often called a dual boot setup, the last bootloader written to the MBR will be used. Most of bootloaders will recognize any other operating systems you have installed. In dual boot setups, always use Linux bootloader, or in other words, install Linux last. Today, BIOS has been replaced by the more robust UEFI. To the user, it won't make much difference. It is all handled by the bootloader and the UEFI on board system. Finally, to enter BIOS, press a key defined for your computer while it is booting. Most common keys are F1, F2, F10, F12 and delete. Thanks for watching.